Celebrating when you do not buy something, the reverse dopamine trick. You probably know someone who feels proud whenever they do not purchase something. They almost bought those shoes, did not do it, and then acted like they achieved a victory. Their secret is simple. They train their brain to feel rewarded for saving instead of spending. Here is what usually happens. Your brain gets excited when you buy something. A new item gives a dopamine rush. You become hooked on the feeling of purchasing, and later you wonder why your wallet is empty and you still do not feel fulfilled. People who understand this switch the process completely. They take screenshots of things they refuse to buy. They keep track of money they did not spend. They actually celebrate the moment they walk away. Over time, their brain starts enjoying the feeling of saving more than the thrill of buying. Is this strange? Very much. Does it work? Unfortunately, yes. Dopamine does not care how it is triggered. Start training it in the right direction. Keeping broke person money in your wallet. Some people keep a single bill in their wallet that they never spend. It might be a $100 bill, a $50 bill, or any amount that once felt huge when they were struggling. That bill is a reminder of how it felt to be broke. Why would anyone carry money they will not spend? Because that note keeps them grounded. Whenever they open their wallet, they see it and remember their old situation. It reminds them not to take their current comfort lightly. It shows where they started and why they refuse to go backward. Digital numbers in a bank account feel unreal, but that physical bill is real, and it reminds them that they worked hard to reach stability. Is this odd? Definitely. Does it work more effectively than any motivational speech? Physical reminders hit harder. The imaginary poverty month. You probably know someone who decides to live like they are broke for one whole month, even though they actually have money. They eat basic meals like rice and beans, avoid restaurants, skip treats, and cut every non-essential cost. You might think they have lost their mind. They have money, so why live like this? Here is the truth. They are testing their life under pressure. They want to know if they can handle the minimum. They want to see what is necessary and what is just comfort. If things ever collapsed, they already know exactly how to manage. The result is zero financial fear. They know the exact amount they need to survive. While many people panic at the thought of losing income, they already practiced the worst situation and survived it by choice. Is this unusual? Very. Does it work? Compare your money stress with their calm. There is your answer. Naming your savings account after enemies. Some people label their savings accounts with the names of people who doubted them. For example, prove Sarah wrong fund or Mike said I could not do it account. Yes, people actually do this. Their motivation is simple, healthy revenge. Every deposit feels like a message to the people who underestimated them. Every milestone becomes proof. Every dollar saved is fuel. It may sound childish or petty, but it works because it keeps them focused. While you save for vague goals, they are saving with a fire inside them. Same discipline, but their motivation is deeply personal and far more intense. How strange is this? Extremely. Will you try it? Most likely not. That is why you do not have their drive. Calculating your freedom number daily. There are people who repeat one calculation every single day. They divide their total savings by their monthly expenses. That result is their freedom number, how many months they could live with no income. It sounds obsessive, right? But here is their real intention. They track their actual level of security. Most people do not know how long they could survive without a paycheck. 1 month, 2 months, they guess. These individuals know precisely. They watch the number grow like a game score. 6 months of freedom, that is progress. 9 months, better. 12 months, now they feel strong. That number becomes their confidence, their comfort, their proof that they are not stuck. While most people ignore their financial runway, these individuals know exactly how close they are to a life with no money stress. Is this odd? Highly. Does it change their lives? Ask them why they sleep so peacefully. Buying generic everything. Even when they can afford better, there is always someone who earns a lot of money but still buys store-brand versions of everything. Generic cereal, low-cost cleaning items, basic toilet paper, anything that gets the job done. It is not about being cheap. It is about preventing lifestyle inflation. Most people increase their spending as soon as they earn more. They buy premium brands and higher-end products because they feel they deserve it. Meanwhile, wealthy individuals continue using the same basics they had before success. They only spend more on things that matter. Important tools, meaningful experiences, or family needs. But cereal is cereal. Most people cannot separate ego from actual value. Is this strange? Absolutely. Does it build wealth? Ask anyone rich who still shops like they did years ago. The ugly money jar. Some people keep a jar filled with old, wrinkled, and unpleasant-looking cash. Bills that look like they survived a disaster. They keep adding money to the jar but refuse to spend it. It may sound silly, but here is the psychology behind it. Ugly money becomes unappealing to use. When cash looks dirty, old, and unattractive, your brain naturally avoids touching it. As a result, the jar grows over time. They use a simple mental hack to save money by making the cash look undesirable. Outcome: their jar fills up while your fresh, clean cash disappears quickly. Is this weird? Very much. Does it work? Every person with an ugly money jar will say yes. Treating every dollar like an employee, some people manage their money with extreme detail. They assign a job to every single dollar they own. Dollar number 1, rent. Dollar number 2, rent. Dollar number 487, emergency fund. Dollar number 488, emergency fund. They know exactly where each dollar is going. For most people, this sounds tiring and unnecessary. It is definitely intense, but here is what it achieves. No wasted money. Every dollar has a mission. Every cent has a responsibility. Nothing is left idle. When you understand that unused money usually disappears without purpose, you start asking better questions. What job should this dollar do? That question alone leads to smarter money habits. How strange is this? Very. Will you do it? Probably not. You will allow your money to drift around and wonder where it went. Paying for things twice. Some people pay for something 2 times before making a purchase. First in their mind, then with actual money. They mentally set aside the amount by moving it into a separate thought or account. Then they wait 1 week. If they still want the item, they pay again with real cash. This rule applies to every non-essential purchase. While most people buy things without thinking, these individuals add a system that slows down impulsive buying. The mental payment is the test. The real payment is the commitment. Most items fail the first step. At the end of the month, they buy far fewer things and spend far less money. The result is that money stays in their bank account instead of becoming unused items in the closet. This extra step saves huge amounts over time. It is powerful when you accept it because it shows what you truly want versus what is just a short-term desire. Is this strange? Yes, very. Does it work? Completely. That is why they build wealth and you collect things. Shopping your own home first. This is the zero-buy habit. Some people search their own home before buying anything new. Need a pen. They check the junk drawer. Need a book. They look on their shelf. Want a different meal. They use ingredients already at home. They do this not because they are broke, but because they realize they already own more than enough. They just feel bored. The result is simple. They avoid buying duplicates. They use what they already paid for. They discover that most purchases are not real needs, but boredom pretending to be necessity. While you buy your 4th can opener because you misplaced the previous 3, they simply reuse what they already have. Is this strange? Very. Will you try it? Possibly not. Buying new things feels more exciting. The secret to building wealth here is what most people never say about building wealth. The habits that create it often look strange. If these habits were normal, then everyone would be wealthy. The unusual habits act as a filter. Ordinary habits feel comfortable. Strange habits feel uncomfortable but lead to results. One day you look at your finances and notice everything has changed. Not because you followed common advice, but because you repeated unusual actions consistently while others thought you were being odd. That is the real secret. Wealthy people do not care if their habits look weird. They only care about whether those habits work. If this made you realize you have been choosing comfort over effectiveness, then good. Now you understand what truly builds wealth. Like this video as a sign you are ready to commit to one unusual habit. Subscribe as a decision to choose results over approval. Wealth does not come from doing what everyone else does. It comes from being willing to do what actually works. They look on their shelf, want a different meal. They use ingredients already at home. They do this not because they are broke, but because they realize they already own more than enough. They just feel bored. The result is simple. They avoid buying duplicates. They use what they already paid for. They discover that most purchases are not real needs, but boredom pretending to be necessity. While you buy your 4th can opener because you misplaced the previous 3, they simply reuse what they already have. Is this strange? Very. Will you try it? Possibly not. Buying new things feels more exciting. The secret to building wealth here is what most people never say about building wealth. The habits that create it often look strange. If these habits were normal, then everyone would be wealthy. The unusual habits act as a filter. Ordinary habits feel comfortable. Strange habits feel uncomfortable but lead to results. One day you look at your finances and notice everything has changed. Not because you followed common advice, but because you repeated unusual actions consistently while others thought you were being odd. That is the real secret. Wealthy people do not care if their habits look weird. They only care about whether those habits work. If this made you realize you have been choosing comfort over effectiveness, then good. Now you understand what truly builds wealth. Like this video as a sign you are ready to commit to one unusual habit. Subscribe as a decision to choose results over approval. Wealth does not come from doing what everyone else does. It comes from being willing to do what actually works.